The operation in Zaporizhzhia Oblast required coordinating multiple units and using drones to establish control of the situation before any direct strike could be authorized. The Morok, Darkness Assault Group of Ukraine's 225th Separate Assault Regiment used FPV drones to rescue two of its soldiers from Russian captivity in southeastern Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia Oblast, the unit reported, as covered by Militarnyi. The operation involved using drones to isolate the captors from the prisoners before striking and eliminating the Russian force. The two Ukrainian soldiers fell into Russian hands during a clearing operation in a settlement on the Zaporizhzhia front. Adjacent units coordinated with Morok to mount a response. FPV drones gave operators the ability to establish control over the situation from above, first separating the enemy soldiers from the Ukrainian captives, cutting off the captors without endangering the prisoners. After isolating the Russian position, Ukrainian forces struck and eliminated the enemy. Both soldiers were then evacuated from the combat zone. On the Sloviansk direction, the armed forces of Ukraine stopped the largest motorcycle assault by Russian occupiers since the beginning of the year, according to the 7th Rapid Response Corps of the Ukrainian Air Assault Forces. Sloviansk is part of a unique fortress belt that has held back Russian forces since 2014. Paratroopers eliminated enemy infantry that dismounted from their vehicles. The attackers deployed 16 motorcycles, operating in several groups of 3 to 4 vehicles, attempting to break through Ukrainian positions. Thanks to timely detection and coordinated action, the assault was stopped, and Ukrainian troops eliminated the dismounted enemy infantry. Russia is constantly moving resources and attempting to seize advantageous positions on the Sloviansk front. To hinder Ukrainian operations, they try to control key logistical routes using remote-controlled mines and drones. Despite this pressure, troops of the 81st Brigade of the 7th Corps continue to detect and destroy Russian forces, Ukrainian paratroopers stressed. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was surprised that anyone believes the war would end if Kyiv withdrew from Donbass. If their goal is only Donbass, then why do they say they will go further, and then there will be other conditions? In my view, the issue is not Donbass after all, he said, stating that Moscow's ambitions extend beyond eastern Ukraine. The believed to be taken from aerial reconnaissance footage shows a devastated residential area, buildings reduced to rubble, roofs collapsed, and debris scattered across what was once a neighborhood. Amid this destruction, figures can be seen moving cautiously between the ruins. Overlaid markers indicate opposing forces, suggesting a tense and dangerous encounter unfolding in real time. According to reports tied to similar incidents, 2 Ukrainian soldiers had been captured and were being held or escorted through a heavily contested zone. In such environments, prisoners of war face extreme danger, not only from their captors, but also from ongoing crossfire and artillery strikes. Their chances of survival are often slim. Unlike traditional reconnaissance drones, FPV drones are piloted in real time with high maneuverability, often used for precision strikes. However, in this case, the drone operator used it not simply as a weapon, but as a tool of intervention. Spotting the prisoners and their captors moving through the ruins, the operator made a split-second decision. Instead of immediately striking the prisoner's location, which could have resulted in tragic, friendly casualties, the drone was used to target the captors with precision. Flying low and fast through the broken structures, the drone closed in on the enemy position. The resulting strike disrupted the captors, creating confusion and a narrow window of opportunity.
Just reaching the front in Ukraine is now as deadly as holding it, thanks to drones that strike in seconds. Ground robots could be part of the answer. A video Ukrainian forces circulated online recently graphically depicts how little time a vehicle can linger along the front before it attracts the lethal attention of tiny, explosive, first-person view drones. A Ukrainian mine-resistant, ambush-protected armored truck, an MRAP, speeds up to the front to drop off fresh troops and supplies and pick up troops whose rotation is over.
MRAP idles for literally seconds before the first Russian drone barrels in. The vehicle suffers at least one drone impact as it speeds away. Fortunately for the Ukrainian crew and passengers, the MRAP's thick armor absorbs the worst of the blast. That harrowing experience is now ubiquitous. And it's getting worse as both sides deploy more and better FPVs, including unjammable fiber optic models and FPVs fitted with artificial intelligence that can steer them toward their targets. Forge to bombing on the front line is not good. And it's mostly because of drones, explained Andrew Perpetua, an independent open-source intelligence analyst in the United States. Artillery and airstrikes don't help, but I would imagine the drones are doing the bulk of the damage right now, especially with regards to doing troop rotations, supplies, like any sort of driving a vehicle, Perpetua added. It's not great, especially if you're going along a highway or any sort of major road you're getting hit.
David Kirashenko, a Ukrainian-American war correspondent, has experienced dangerous rotations firsthand during his many trips to the front line since Russia widened its war on Ukraine 41 months ago. If you go too slow trying to avoid a mine, you can more easily get hit by a drone or any other Russian weapon system, such as artillery, Kirashenko said. Or if you drive too fast, to avoid the drones, he added, you'd more easily drive over a mine. So it's just a very dangerous game of kind of randomness of how you might die when you're driving out. The peril doesn't end when the road does. Braking to drop off and load troops and materiel, a truck might halt for mere seconds or never fully stop at all. The vehicle drives up and the doors open and it all happens just in a flash. Like all the supplies pop out, you hop out and you just gotta run for cover. He recalled one drop-off where the drones were already overhead and waiting as the vehicle's doors opened. It's just an extremely dangerous mission that I've witnessed firsthand. The sheer number of FPVs all along the front, both sides now build millions of the tiny drones every year, means it's never safe anywhere within the roughly 30-kilometer range of the best FPVs, which might benefit from other drones relaying their radio signals or the bigger hexacopter bomber drones. Ominously, the drone kill zone is expanding as the drones improve, and fast. At first, it was like, the last 5 kilometers were kind of the issue, Perpetua said. And then it became like the last 10, the last 15, and now it's like the last 30, and it's just going to keep going up. I think over the course of the next few months, probably like 6 to 8 months, we're going to see it go out to like 50 or 60 kilometers in either direction from the line of contact, Perpetua predicted. He claimed Ukraine would benefit more from the extended drone kill zone. The farther out you go, I think Ukraine will have the advantage because Ukraine has just simply better drones, Perpetua said. Russia is mostly relying on their fiber optic drones, which range just 10 kilometers or so. I think Ukraine has much better long-range drones that don't rely on fiber optics and that use more advanced connectivity via wireless radio. But Ukrainian commanders aren't assuming better drones and a wider kill zone will definitely favor Ukraine. Kirichenko noted more Ukrainian units deploying more ground robots for more different tanks inside the kill zone.